Hey everyone, welcome to the call tonight for Victory Over Self, the VOS system with Coach Brent. And these are workshops for body transformation. We're in week 4. And just a little recap. Oh, I'm Shannon. I'm your host. I'm a founding member with Evolve There. And of course, the VOS program is sponsored by Evolve There for our members and for those that have joined the Body Transformation Challenge. Just a quick recap from the first few weeks. This is kind of where you want to be right now, but if you're not, don't worry about it. Don't ever let those things bother you. Just keep them where you are and ask questions. That's what these workshops are for. So on a recap, if you change your thinking, you change your world, and that's so true. Those are true principles that you will see with top executives and athletes around the world. First is mindset, and that's why Brent talks so much about that in the first few weeks. Write down your goals. You're going to write down mental, physical, spiritual, family, financial goals that you have, right? Short-term, long-term, because when you look better and you feel better, it really helps you in accomplishing those goals, and you're going to see that. You're going to write down your daily affirmations. Rob talked a little about this yesterday. If you were on the call yesterday, his affirmations. And I think he'll bring that up in our question and answer again today. Again, this is one of those principles. If you're not doing it, you should be. There's something about physically writing your goal down that really changes your thinking and helps you. So get a 3x5 card and describe how you want to feel, look, act in your goals. Write it as if you're already there, right? So not this is where I want to be, but this is where I am. You also want to have some physical pictures posted so that you already have that mental picture. You're visualizing where you want to be physically, and you need to post those where you're going to see them. So next to your bed, on the refrigerator, we all know we're going to go there, right? In the bathroom, on the mirror, when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, places where you're going to see them every day. And again, your mindset is, I'm already there. This is what I look like. And then you should have already written down your measurements and your weight. If not, Coach Brent's going to be teaching us how to do that. Control your environment. Brent talked about how important it is to surround yourself with good people, and as much as possible, don't let anybody bring you down. Meal prep. We want to be meal prepping, right? And donate anything that's not in the lunchbox or the cooler. So, as much as possible, you're controlling what you eat. And then control your schedule. Make time to exercise, make time to meal prep, you have to make time for yourself. When you hear people go, oh, I don't have time. Well, we're all busy, right? So the only way that's going to happen is if you make time for yourself. Hopefully you've already taken your before pictures, right? So front, side, and back. If not, there's still time to do that as soon as possible. And then this, what I thought was so powerful, we all hear about before and after pictures when people are doing a body transformation, but Brent also has us write a before and after letter. So routine things and how you're feeling about your life and yourself, write that down, write a letter to yourself. If you haven't already, do it today. And then at the end of the body transformation, write another letter to yourself and read those and see the difference of where you are at the end of this body transformation. Powerful, powerful tool that that was a new one for me. So I really just want to thank Coach Brent for that. And just to introduce Coach Brent, if you guys haven't been on a call before, he's trained 6 world champion fighters, thousands of athletes, and body transformation contestants. And folks, a lot of times body transformation contestants, they're not top athletes, they're not college or pro athletes or in the Olympics. They're everyday folks that are just making a difference. Many of them have ended up being body transformation champions, and he's a train the trainer. Brent has trained tons of personal trainers. They've come to him to learn his system, and he's a guy that walks the walk and he talks the talk. You can see in the before and after pictures, that's our Coach Brent. He's had his own personal body transformation, and he's here today to train you. So without further ado, thank you for being on the call today, Coach Brent.
Thank you, Shannon. Excellent overview. 7 key points for better health and balanced blood sugar. Exercise hard enough to sweat. Very important to, sweat every day. Even if you're in the fat burning zone, in about 10 minutes, you should be breaking a sweat. There's some people that, never sweat, but eventually, if you keep doing it and eating right, you're going to be able to sweat, where you can get rid of the toxins. If you changed the oil in your car every day, the engine would never wear out. So that's one reason we drink a gallon of water a day, and we want to sweat the rest of it out every day. Number 2, never eat carbs alone. Fat, fiber, vinegar, citric acid, and protein all slow the rate of change of carbs to glucose, but protein does it best. 3, never eat more carb grams in a meal than protein grams. 4, drink a gallon of water a day. Your body's 75% water. Your brain is 85% water. What does that tell you? 5, eat every 2 to 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and don't miss. Try to eat mostly medium to low glycemic carbs like fruits and vegetables. Stay away from the refined stuff. 7, except you get that free meal, remember, once a week. Get 8 to 9 hours sleep a night, 7 minimum.
And real quick before I switch over to the next slide, Rob Hunt, the founder of eVolve, has been generous enough that we are going to be doing another giveaway of a tub of LP9. So I've got some letters for you guys tonight that you're going to want to text at the end of this call. And the first one is E like eVolve. Again, that is E like eVolve or Edward. That's your first letter. Okay,
nutrition, phase 1. Protein, carbs, you're going to have 10 grams of carbs per meal. Protein will be about 25 to 20 grams for the women and 25 to 35 for the men per meal, based on your lean body mass. And once we get the calipers and teach you how to use those, then you'll know exactly what your lean body mass is and how to judge that. We don't want to be losing any lean body mass, so that's why you got to have enough protein going in to maintain that. Otherwise, your body will take from your protein stores to feed the organs. Good fats, coconut oil, avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, those are good oils. Cook everything in coconut oil and avocado oil. They'll take a lot more heat than the others, and they're extremely good for you, medium chain triglycerides. Suggested food choices. The chart is available on eVolve website. There'll be some other charts, accountability charts that'll also have some, choices on them. But this is, you can mix and match to make up your meals, what you like. 10 grams of carbs and 25 grams of protein each meal. So by the end of the day, you've put in about 50 grams of carbs and 150 grams of protein based on lean body mass. That's phase 1. Accountability, just write down until you get the chart how many grams of protein you took in and how many grams of carbs. You don't need to write down what you ate, just how many grams. And once you've done this and figured it out once, then it's real simple to do. And you can just look at something and know exactly what it's worth. And it's simple. Even if you go on a cruise or to a buffet, you can know exactly how much of whatever you can have. Write down those things and keep yourself accountable each meal, each day.
And our next letter is going to be V like Victor. So write that one down. That's V like Victor.
And on the accountability chart, there will be a little box underneath the protein and grams of supplements. So you can just put a check mark that you took your supplements for that meal. Exercise overview, phase 1. This chart shows you what exercises to do each day and gives you a place to track your workouts and keep track of the weights. Most women will start out with 3 and 5 pound dumbbells for the exercises. Guys, 8 to 10 pounds, and slowly work up, unless you're already, tuned to it. But still, because we're going to start going 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down, you'll want to back off the weights you've been using so that you can do that. If you ever saw the formula E equals MC squared, Einstein's theory of relativity, energy equals mass times the velocity of light squared. Well, in that formula, energy and mass and velocity have a ratio to each other. If you increase mass in that formula 10 times, energy goes up 10 times. But if you increase velocity or speed 10 times, energy goes up 100 times because it's squared. Same thing in your body. Your body could handle a lot of weight and mass against its joints and muscles, but not speed and mass. It's the speed that's destroying everybody's joints in the sports and everything you do. So we're going to control the speed. 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. They found for 20 years that that is by far the best for building strength, mass, and safety. The chart shows how many sets or reps for each exercise. A set is a series of reps. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're standing and doing curls with the bicep. And you do 10 repetitions, repeat it 10 times, and then you rest. That was one set of 10 reps. And you'll rest for 3 or 4 seconds, then you'll do another set and rest 30 to 60 seconds in between each set. Has a place for you to write down the weight you used. And so track that, because your goal is to constantly go up in weight a little at a time. And when you get to the your max weight, there's some tricks we'll teach you about how you can slowly go up safely. Exercise overview phase 1. The chart has a place to track your ab workout, your cardio, and your stretching. At the end of every workout, you stretch. And we'll show you the stretching routine. All stretches should be held for 20 seconds and take 4 big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. That takes about 5 seconds each. Abs and calves will be worked 4 times a week, where the main muscles are just twice a week, because those other muscle groups are denser, they'll handle more work. Exercise example for Monday and Thursday is like chest and incline press, where you're on an incline bench and you can see that you're pushing it up towards the ceiling, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. Ideal is to breathe out going away from gravity and in going with gravity. But in the beginning, just breathe deep. Flies, the same thing. You're laying down, but make sure your feet are up on the bench. That keeps your back flat, no back strain. And just down parallel. Don't let it hurt your shoulders. Just slowly down and then up, together, and then back down. And start with 3s on that. Gals on the inclines, start with 5s. The same thing with the flat dumbbell press. Put your feet up on the bench. Gals start with 5s, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. Biceps on Monday and Thursday. Also standing dumbbell curl, stand up, keep your back locked, and the dumbbells slowly go down to your side to lockout carefully, and all the way up and down. 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. Incline dumbbell curl. You're down carefully, all the way down to lockout, and then curl it up just like the picture shows. Concentration curl. See when he's got his dumbbell up by his chin, it looks like you're sitting there concentrating. And that's why they call it that. And then it just let it down carefully down to lockout and then back up. Okay, calf raises. The way to do those is get on the stairs and right on the edge of the stairs and just raise up on your toes and then back down. And don't go too far down, maybe an inch below parallel, because we don't want to strain or tear those ligaments and the tendons in your calves until we make sure you've got good elasticity because of your good nutrition, because that's a big problem with people having problems with their joints and tears and all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about that later. And then when that gets too easy, you can do more than 15 or 20 and it's not burning, then go one leg at a time. Just put the other one behind the one that's doing the work, and you can do it that way, one leg at a time. Calf curls, that's the position, but we're not pushing against that. You're actually going to be pulling against a force. You could actually do it with yourself if you take that other foot and push against the toes and push them away from you, and then curl them back, resist it coming back. If you've got a partner, the partner can sit facing you, spread their legs, grab a hold of your feet, and pull their toes towards you while you try to curl them back. But be careful with this, easy at a time. This will build the front of that calf, because you want to balance in your muscles all over your body. Your body is like the universe, equal and opposing forces in all things. Your chest pushes, your back pulls. If you have those equal in strength, then the spine stays right in place. One's not stronger than the other. Same thing with the abs and the lower back. But most people, their abs are not strong and the lower back's strong because of daily work and stuff. And so the spine's always getting tweaked out of place because of the abs. Plus, the other reason people have back strain in America is not enough water, because the vertebrae are separated by a little disc, and that disc has got to be hydrated. And if you got enough water, the disc stays fat and hydrated. If it's collapsed and dehydrated, then the nerves, there's not enough room between the vertebrae, and the nerves get pinched. So make sure you get the water. The other thing is, if you got a leg extension, leg curl bench, you can sit on the floor, put your feet underneath those bottom pads, and curl that back towards you. No more shin splints if you get those muscles built. Also, abs. Every 4 times a week, you'll do the vertical leg raise. You can see that working right there. But be careful with that, especially if you've got any back problems. You can do that same thing on the edge of a bench. Sit sideways on a bench, hold on, and you can bring the knee, bend your knees a little bit, and then bring the feet in front of you and kind of draw a basketball in front of you. And that'll work the lower abs, belly button down. Crunches work from the belly button up. And so when you do that, but don't hold on the back of your head like that. Put your arms on your chest like this. Suck your stomach in on any ab work and crunch up. Now that one's pretty safe for anybody, even if you got some back trouble. Russian twists. Again, be careful with this one if you got any back, issues. And start without any weight. Later on, you can add a little plate, a little at a time, and slowly go up. I used to do this on a decline with a 90-pound dumbbell on my chest, but you slowly work up to those kind of things. Side bends. We're going to do side bends, but don't do them with weights, because we want to get those muscles toned on the side, but I don't know anybody wants a wider waist. If you want big obliques, go ahead and use weights. But I go in gyms and see the trainers getting those girls using 45-pound dumbbells. Those girls knew what that was going to do to them. They'd kill them trainers. A stretch. It takes about 5 minutes to do the stretches. And make sure you do your 30 minutes of cardio in the morning. And if you want to do another one in the afternoon, you can do that, which you'll burn another 3 pounds of fat in a month, which is another 2% on most people, or 3% body fat. So typically 5 to 6% every 4 weeks, but if you do another cardio, that could be 8, 9%. Exercise for Tuesday and Friday, legs. I love them ball squats. Put that ball against the wall, get your feet out, and that's a very good picture because it shows that. But in the beginning, do not go down to parallel. Go down just until you can feel those muscles engage, and then back up, almost like the first picture. And after about 3 or 4 weeks, then you can be down to where it's parallel like that. The same thing with, and eventually, and then after that, you can start adding 3-pound dumbbell in each hand and then go up. I had a 70-year-old that was doing these with 50-pound dumbbell in each hand. And that's another amazing story. She had a degenerative, condition in her bones and in her spine. And we started her with standing calf raises on a machine that you put your shoulders underneath and lift up against it. She started with a 50-pound weight of the machine. And she says, I could feel that all the way down my spine. Let's do that every week. So we slowly started raising the weights up. After a year, she was doing 350 pounds for 10 reps. And it freaked the doctors out because she'd grown a ½ inch. So the muscle bones respond to two things. It has to have the correct nutrition to build the bones, but then they have to have a demand, a stress for them to take up that nutrition. So that's why we want to exercise all the body parts and put the stress on that skeleton. But the one exercise, if you could only do one exercise, it would be squats with a weight resting on your shoulders. Smith machine is by far the safest and the best because it creates that pressure, that bone density throughout your skeleton. Lunges, do those, but very carefully because you're using body weight. Step forward, 3 seconds out, 3 seconds back, and just until the muscle engages. After 3 or 4 weeks, then you can get down to where you can go parallel and don't let the knee go past the toe line. And I alternate legs. I'll do right leg and then I'll step back and then I'll do the left leg. But be careful with this one. Hold on to something while you do this, in fact, because the stabilizers need to be built, and eventually you get to where you can do it without holding on to something. Leg curls. That's a good picture of that. And start out with, 5 pounds or, even just the weight of the machine, a little at a time. You don't want to get these muscles sore. Those hamstrings are dense and they'll hurt. All the way up, all the way down. 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down.
And our next letter, if you're writing these down, is O, like Oliver. O, like Oliver.
Exercise for Tuesday and Friday, triceps, skull crushers. That's a good picture of it. You can do it on a ball like that. If you're on a bench, make sure your feet are up in the air. And gals start with 3-pounders, guys with 8. I felt so bad about one guy. He was so big. He was 6'5" and weighed 400 pounds. And I thought, I can give him bigger ones. So I gave him 12-pounders to start with. I felt so bad. He couldn't comb his hair for 2 weeks. So start out real light and easy on these, okay? But it'll fix it so you don't have those choir director arms and that saggy part underneath your arms. And if they get away from you, that's why they call them scroll crushers. But they come right down by your ears and then all the way up towards the ceiling. French press. It's you build an Eiffel Tower. You grab that dumbbell with both hands, put your elbows by your ears, and slowly drop it down behind your back and back up towards the ceiling. Push downs. We're not going to do dips. Push downs. That's exactly what you do. It comes up to the chest, elbows by the side, right down, all the way down to the groin. If you don't have access to that machine, you can do it at home with a dumbbell. And what you'll do is you'll just bend over where your elbow is in the air like this, and then you can just kick it back like that. It's called tricep kickbacks. And that'll work that third head of the tricep just like that tricep push downs. In fact, those tricep push downs work better with a rope. Same stretches, calves and abs as Monday and Thursday.
And we've got one more letter for you guys. That's L like love. L like love, because you're going to be loving the way you feel after doing this body transformation with Coach Brent.
Exercise Wednesday and Saturday, back, close grip pull downs. You put your hands a little closer together than he has, right close to that cable. Lean back a little bit and pull it into your chest. But at the same time, when it comes back to the chest, kind of pinch your shoulder blades together. If somebody's hand was in between your shoulder blades, you'd try to pinch their hand between it. So we can work those rhomboids. So make sure you work those rhomboids when you do your back work. And you can do this with a partner at home. If you're sitting on the floor, you can grab a towel and you grab the middle of the towel and that partner grabs the ends of the towel and they're standing, but have them use their legs, not their back. Keep their back straight and they'll use their legs to help assist you when you do this close grip pull down. Pullovers, right there on the bench, feet up on the bench, and you just like another Eiffel Tower and just pull it over your head. And this one feels really good if you breathe right. Breathe in going down, breathe out coming out. And when you get to your ideal weight, it feels wonderful. You feel your rib cage, and you can build your lung power. I help some singers build a lot more lung power with this. It'll build your intercostals, and next, very few things will build the intercostal muscles. Rows, dumbbell rows, that's a good picture of it. But again, at the very top, don't let your lower back move. It doesn't move. But at the very back, kind of pinch that rhomboid up. Try to make that rhomboid go clear up to the middle of your back. Okay. Exercise Wednesday and Saturday, shoulders, seated dumbbell press. And you slowly over the head and then back down. 3-pounders to start with, gals. I've had people with bad shoulders that started with nothing, especially on the next one, which is the side lateral raise. And that one, they start at your side and slowly raise up parallel to the floor. That little finger can come up a little bit and make it even, more effective for the shoulder. The wide grip upright rows, you can do that with dumbbells instead of a bar. Just put the dumbbells together and raise it up. Touch your collarbone, try to keep the elbows higher than your shoulders. Build beautiful round shoulders, so no more shoulder pads, and makes your blouses and gowns look beautiful. Wednesday, Saturday, thighs, inner outer thighs and neck instead of calves and abs on these days. Inner and outer thigh, you sit there on that, just like that first position, and you raise your inner thigh up towards the ceiling. That works that inner thigh, and then you roll over and do the other side. And the outer, you're laying on your side, and the top leg just raises up towards the ceiling, and you work that outer thigh. And we're going to do this 15, 25, 30 reps. And don't use any weight on this. Eventually, you could use a little 2.5-pound leg, but we don't want to build, most people don't want bigger inner and outer thighs. So we just want to tone this again like the obliques. Your neck, that position, that picture there is not of neck, but it is of the Superman. And that is a real good exercise because for your back, there's little muscles that go all the way down the spine and right inside the rhomboids. And so this exercise will get at those, where you put your arms behind you and it's like you're skydiving, and you raise those heels up and try to make those heels touch the back of your head and your head, and you'll feel it right down your middle of your back. But neck, there's 2 ways to do this. Number one is laying on a bench or on the edge of the bed, and on all 4 sides, back, front, right side, left side, raise your head up in all 4 directions. The weight of your head's about 12 pounds, so we'll just use it and start out easy. 1 set for the first week of calves and abs. All the other stuff you can do, all the sets, but just start with light weights. And then after about 3 weeks, you should be doing all 3 sets of these. If you get dizzy laying on your side or back or any of these, then the way to do it is with your own pressure. Okay, so and don't overdo this. Take it easy. Okay, just push, and then you can resist yourself. Front, back, right side, left side. And this is when you do, even if you're doing them laying on your bed or your bench, is the rotate. Is resist when you're rotating, looking over your shoulder like you're looking behind you in the car. And you can develop that neck and all direction. Now, eventually, gals, you can put a 2.5 pound on your head, or a 5 pound, go up to 5. Don't go over 5. I let the guys do whatever they want if they want a bigger neck, but 5 is enough to just tone it and make it look great so you don't have a pencil neck. Same stretches, calves and abs. Exercises Monday and Thursday. No calves and abs on those days, just stretches that day. Take your measurements and weigh in once a month. And especially your calipers, because that's going to tell you the real story. And the scale's not. We use it just to tell you what's happening with your lean body mass. Because a lot of times that scale won't move, but you always will lose 3 to 5 pounds of fat a week if you're being strict with this. So just trust me, that's the way it works with everybody. I had a couple of gals. In fact, one was in her 50s, one in her 60s, that didn't lose any weight after 12 weeks on the scale. But they had both. One had lost 20-something pounds and dropped a whole bunch of dress sizes. In fact, she had to have her wardrobe retailored, and it was about $2,000. And the other one, she dropped about 30 pounds of fat, but she put on, about 30 pounds of muscle and bone. But she was a Reiki master, and I think that had something to do with it. And the meditation she was doing too. I had another guy that was like that. You can weigh in once a week if you want, but no more than that. Make sure you weigh in 2 or 3 days after your free meal, not right after, because your body will hold 100 times its weight in salt in your body. Could do 5 pounds of weight in your body in just water. This chart will be available on Evolve. You can all do this. It's doable, and a little step at a time, and you'll get comfortable in the gym with, in the beginning, nobody's comfortable there, but eventually you're going to be the pro, and they'll come and ask you about things. It's pretty amazing what happens.
I would just encourage everybody, trust the process. Brent has worked with, as you can see, thousands of people. So, just trust the process. And if you've got a gym membership and you already, go to the gym, continue, take advantage of that and use the gym. But you don't have to have a gym membership. He's shown you how to do all of these exercises with dumbbells, right in your own home. So don't feel like you got to go out and get a gym membership if that's not what you want to do. There's obviously, you can see there's a couple of ways to do this. And again, just trust the process because it works. And he's seen it work, and he's helped, so many people. And we have finished our workshop for the day. We've got time for question and answer. So I'm going to check the chat here and see if we have any question and answer. And Rob, do you want to share with us also, like you did yesterday, how many pounds you've lost this week and where you are this week in the process?
No, I'm good.
You're so bad. If I didn't know you better, I would have taken that seriously. I would have been like, oh, okay.
I'm kind of a smart aleck. So yeah, I've lost over 13 pounds in a week, and I feel great. I've lost, actually, Brent's had helped me peel off, I was 440 pounds last year. So I've lost over 113 pounds at least. I'm dropping weight again. I kind of stabilized for a little bit, did a couple of surgeries, and now I'm back to the weight loss process. But yeah, 13 pounds, guys. Listen to Coach Brent. And there's a thing. If you've got questions about certain things, I get some people say, well, what if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? And some folks, you can work around things, but there's some people that just don't want to do anything and they want to come up with excuses. Well, that's great. You're not going to lose weight. You're just going to have a whole handful of excuses. So don't let excuses run your life. That's one thing that I always tell people. But Shannon was talking about affirmations, and yesterday we got on a webinar and we talked about some afformations versus affirmations. An affirmation, and we do affirmations with our children every morning, and it's part of what Brent teaches, but there's a different twist. Affirmations are, I am good, I am strong, I'm going to have a good day, I am beautiful, I am healthy, I am. And those are good. You should always do affirmations. But an affirmation was taught to me by my sister, and it's after I'd lost everything I had. I was on my way back, and I was, doing the woe is me. Why am I in this bad thing? Why have I lost everything? Why am I, boo hoo hoo, boo boo boo. And my sister said, you know what? You're a smart guy. Snap out of it, and you need to start doing some affirmations. And I said, I do them. She says, no, affirmations. I said, you mean affirmations? She goes, no, affirmations. The difference is this. Why do good things always happen to me? Why am I always helping people? Why am I successful? Why are the smartest people around me? Why are things just exploding every day? Why am I healthy? Those type of things. So asking different questions like that, and you can call it whatever you want to, and I don't get into the mystical mumbo jumbo, but I got to tell you that it all has to do with what you focus on. And so my daughter, I shared this on the call the other day, this little wolf right here, right? My daughter made me a wolf. Mallory did. And I said, so, okay, that's cool. And she says, yeah, Dad, feed it, type of a thing. Which wolf do you want to feed? And I'm like, well, I don't know what you mean. She said, well, there's the bad wolf and there's a good wolf. The one that's going to get bigger is the one that you feed. And this is a good wolf, basically was, and I'm telling it differently than I did yesterday a little bit, but that's basically the gist of it is the wolf that grows is the wolf that you feed, right? And so, it sits on my desk and it looks at me all the time. And I think, hey, I'm gonna feed that wolf. And, we all have bad days. I have bad days, we all have that. But the big thing is being able to look in the mirror and hit that restart button, or just tap yourself on the head, hit that reset button. And I physically do it and start asking the right questions instead of the wrong questions. Why do I have the best people that I work with? So anyways, that's just kind of one of those things that I like to do, and that is part of what Brent teaches, in setting your goals so that when an obstacle comes along, instead of you not being able to see your goal, well, if my goal is up here, then guess what? If there's an obstacle here, I can still see my goal, right? So yeah, that's perfect. That's actually the story that my daughter gave me there, Shannon. There's a battle of two wolves inside each of us. One wolf is evil. It represents anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, lies, inferiority, and ego. The other wolf is good. It represents joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth. The wolf that wins is the one you feed. So that's pretty cool. And so that's what the VOS system is about, body transformation. That's also what Evolve Air is. We don't talk a lot about Evolve Air on here, but this is actually sponsored by Evolve Air and hosted by Evolve Air. That is a network marketing company that is different than other companies. It's actually based on these principles and on the principles of surrounding ourselves with good people, surrounding ourselves with abundance. As a company, we don't force people to purchase our products in order to get a paycheck. What we do as a company is we provide the best products out there so that people actually want to take our products because they want to, and they make them feel better, not because they have to. And we're hung by the tongue, as Brent says it, to perform that way. And our product, our company does not work without actually having the best products. And our products are actually, most companies come out, and we said this on our webinar earlier today, is most companies will say, hey, we want to build a company, we want to make money, so what kind of thing are we going to come up with? Well, let's do this comp plan here, and let's build a product, and it's going to be something that nobody ever has. It's a category creator, and it's going to be some special berry smashed between the toes of virgin monks in the Himalayas, and they got some wild, crazy story to tell you, or some, water that has special vibes to it. Well, that's great and everything, but we actually have product that has scientific data that everyone knows that your doctor should be able to look at and say, oh, this is good stuff, you know, that you can Google yourself and see plenty of information on. So, and the products actually were developed first for me to help me. And my wife said, you've been blessed with this, help other people with it. And, you know, Brent was part of this, you know, as well, and part of helping me become who I am. Brent's actually a big part of who I am, folks. Brent's kind of like a surrogate dad to me, right? And so he came out of retirement to come do this for you guys. And I got to tell you, Brent usually for private training would get anywhere between $1,500 to $3,500 to privately train a client for a month. And you guys have access to this man. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised, but I'm humbled by the fact that he wants to be part of what we're doing, if that makes any sense. And so it's kind of a big deal. And he's being very generous with his time. And so use his time and use his knowledge wisely, because I kind of made fun a little bit earlier. I said that he was a savant, and the man he's what's called an autodidact, and he's a lot like my son. My son's a lot like him. I'm like that too. It's where you can pick things up and self-learn, and once something's learned, it never leaves. And that's how Brent is. He reads something or sees something once, and it's locked in his brain. You know, so don't take this for granted. Take this, use it to transform whatever, not just body, but victory over self. That's where this comes from, the VOS, and that's Brent's system. And it's victory over self. You know, this is you getting a hold of your passions and your appetites, and this is you being in charge. So whatever it is you want to do, get out there and do it. Man, did I get on a soapbox or what, guys?
Wonderful. I love it.
Sorry.
There was a book and a video came out years ago called The Secret. And had stories about all these successful people and their stories of, you know, rags to riches, kind of like Rob's and stuff. And they'd all been brought down, humbled until they were teachable, and then all the magic happened. But the essence of the whole book is what you think about, you bring about. The universal law of attraction. Tina Marie talked about the universe. She mentioned a comment in there. And there's a law of attraction. It's kind of like magnets. What you think about, you bring about. That's why we want to put that picture on the walls of your house and your mirrors and your fridge, and read that 3x5 card to program that in. So what you think about, you bring about. The more you do that, the sooner it's going to happen. Just like Rob's picture there, the farm.
You see that, guys? That's me. That is me. I want to tell you guys right now, I look like that. Don't I, Brent?
Yeah, he does. And he's gotten real close to that before, and it's under there.
Yeah. So, you know, something else. I'm going to give you guys some of my personal life here. Sean knows a little bit about this too. But you don't have any excuses. Don't have excuses to not be what you want to be and have what you want to be. I've had people look at me and say, "Oh, you're privileged. Oh, you just back when I had tons of money and before I lost it." You know, it's kind of funny. I had people say, "Well, oh, you're lucky. You got it easy." And I go, "Oh, really? I do, huh?" Well, right now I work more hours than most people do. I get more done by noon than most people do. But I got to tell you something. I'm a guy that was working to help pay bills at a very young age. My dad broke his neck, and my dad's a wonderful man, but he broke his neck, and I had to start helping pay the bills at 12. And I know what it's like to get food out of a dumpster. I know what it's like to wonder where my next meal came from, to have hand-me-downs from my sisters to wear to school. Okay. I know what it's like to be I was put in special ed, and Sean and I don't know if you remember me scurrying off into the special ed class in junior high but I was put in special ed, and I was in special ed, and I would sneak into the special ed room, and where I would be sitting next to and taking classes and learning from kids that had Down syndrome and cerebral palsy, all these different issues and stuff like that. And I was labeled there. I had that, and I dealt with that from when I was in grade school all the way through junior high till I got in high school. Now, by the time I was 19, I was a staff member at Utah State University in the Space Dynamics Lab, and yes, a rocket scientist. So, and a member of Mensa. So the thing is, guys, and had a very high IQ, but I had been put down my whole life. But my mom and my parents, my mom and my dad would always tell me, you can be something, you can do this, you're not this, you're not, don't accept labels, you're smart. And they would do affirmations with me all the time. And then, I was a father also. I was married at 19 and started my first business. And then when I was 21, had my first child, and still a staff member at USU, and ran a successful company for, one successful company for 25 years. I was on the National Congressional Business Advisory Council for 3 years, Businessman of the Year, one of the years. Got featured in Your Business at Home magazine, a lot of stuff like that. And I was told, with my legs, I was told, you're going to have a hard time walking. We may amputate one of your legs. Brent remembers me talking to him about that. It took me almost, Brent, a year and a half to learn how to walk again, really, decent. And people saying, well, you're not going to do it. You're not going to have it. You're not going to do it. Well, you know what, guys? I'm my own walking contradiction, and so are you guys. Don't let anybody tell you what you are and what you can and can't be. Period. Don't stand for it. Don't put up with it. So same thing with this body transformation, guys. You be what you want to be. You grab it. You take it. Don't have it given to you. You take it. Okay? Anyways. Man, I got on another soapbox.
It's all good, Rob, because you know what? That's what this is about, right? Your personal story is what brought about LP9. It's what brought about Evolve. And, it's the reason that you're giving people access to Brent. It's all about helping people. And it's the reason that I'm with the company, and that I think most of the sales reps are with the company, is because we all want to be part of something where, you're able to help other people. There's lots of businesses out there. There's lots of jobs. There's lots of, things that we could be doing, but we choose to be part of something that we feel is going to help other people. And that's what it's all about.
And this thing just took my controls again, so that I can't get rid of the Farnese Hercules. You guys sit there and look at that and imagine. That's my photograph. I had somebody ask me why I chose that. You always have to have a story between what you chose, right, guys? Well, because this Hercules was chiseled out of something that was not perfect. This Hercules was taken and formed and went through a beating to get to where it is right now, right? A chisel and hammer beat on that rock until it became what it is. And every detail was what the master wanted it to be. And so that's the thing, is I'm the master of what I want to be. And I'm going to make sure every detail is there. And, I want everybody else, the cool thing about this is I want everybody else to be there too. I want you guys to have what you want, not what I want. I want you guys to have what you want. So you think about what it is you want and you make it happen. Well,
that ties in really well with your last letter, Rob. V for victory.
Boom. All right, I'm going to be quiet now. You guys let me know when you want me to stop this thing, because, like I said, my controls have gone, and I hope we don't lose this recording, because this is really, you guys did a good job today. I'm proud of you.
It is. I'm giving everybody here one more shot, just double checking the chat, double checking the Q&A. Any questions for Coach Brent or Rob, since we're fortunate enough to have him today? Throw those up there real quick. Otherwise, we're going to finish up for today. And again, just thank everybody for being on the call, and, hope that you will continue to attend these workshops and really learn from Coach Brent and be your best self. And I'm not seeing anything in the chat or in the Q&A. So, Rob, we want to go ahead. We're almost at We're at 6:54, so, or
All
7:54
right.
your time. We're at 5 to the hour.
All right, I'll go ahead and close it. See you guys later. You're all awesome. I really appreciate you guys, and I didn't mean to take
give me
over.
one. Oh, I guess thank you. And I forgot to say, I had a lot of thank yous for Brent too. So Brent just wants you to know that you are super appreciated.
Thank you. You're welcome.
See you
Have a
later.
great night.
Good night.
Good night.